What up? I'm just gonna make a quick video about how to use Parallel FX in FL Studio and how to set that up, how to route it, and what some of the uses for that might be. I'm also starting my series where I'm building an FL Studio army to avoid my worst fear, which is that everybody starts just making AI shit and stops using FL so much that they stop giving updates, which would ruin my life. So subscribe if you want to join the FL Army, and we'll learn how to make beats together. Parallel FX. I'm going to use a drum loop for this. It could be literally anything. This doesn't have to obviously be a drum loop. Could be a keyboard, bass, perks, just a hi-hat, whatever. So here's the loop. This is what it sounds like. Just like in a little acoustic drum loop. First thing you got to do, my mixer's set up, but it doesn't matter. You could literally route this to any channel in your entire mixer, no matter how your template is, or if you don't have one. I'm just going to route mine to just a random channel. Doesn't matter. So routing it to 70. And so now before I do anything else, I'm going to route channel 70 to, we'll say 2 other channels. You could run 5 parallel channels or just 1 if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do 2 for the example of it. And in my workflow, once I route it, so pretty much I have channel 70 selected with that drum loop on it, and then go down to this arrow at the bottom of the mixer and click it, and that routes it to a separate channel. So now you can see it's routing here, which is my bus that this is all going to be in. That doesn't matter. And then it's routing here. And for this, I'm going to turn it all the way up, and I'll tell you why later, but I route it and then I turn it all the way up to kind of give me a lot of control with these faders over the FX that are happening. So now channel 70, the drum loop is routed to 71 and 72, could be any channel. On 71, we're going to do a parallel compression. I'm just going to use the simplest form of compression, and I'm really going to smash it. So I'm going to open a wave shaper and push it up into here. So now pretty much what's happening on 70 is a dry signal, and what's happening on 71 is a ridiculously compressed signal. And on 72, I'm going to make it a parallel reverb. Just open reverb 2, stock plugin. I'm going to turn the dry signal down because we're already getting the dry signal out of channel 70, and so we don't need any coming from this reverb parallel. And then I'm going to turn the wet up a little ways. First, we'll bring the compression in, and so you can see I routed 70 to 71 and 72, and then I turned the faders all the way down, because what happens when we route those faders is that these become more of FX dry wet faders than they do gain faders like they normally are. And so now I'm just going to use this fader to determine how much of that that's extremely compressed drum signal is going to be a part of the mix, and that's the parallel. That's why they call it parallel. There's 2 things running at the same time, but they're doing 2 different things. So you can see 71's extremely compressed, 70 is dry, and we're using this fader to kind of balance the 2 out to whatever we think sounds good. And so now I'm going to bring in this parallel reverb. Same way, I'm just going to take it from 0 and go up until I kind of hear it in the mix the way I like it. Pretty cool. So yeah, now this super dry drum loop is having little characteristics coming in that make it more unique. For 71, I'm actually going to, after that compressor, I'm going to go open up a EQ, and I'm just going to make a really small band pass just somewhere. I'm going to tweak it, and that's going to let me turn this up a little more. Maybe a little more reverb, and maybe the reverb's decay is a little bit shorter. Cool. I just think that there's a lot of benefit in having these faders become the dry wet signal. It gets really easy to see and make tweaks once you're done and sort of in like the final mix down stage. It makes tweaking parameters really easy. That's literally it. You could do it with anything. Like I said, you could make 5 send channels. You could make just 1 send channel with just a reverb and run a parallel reverb. The benefit is you're always getting that full dry signal compounded with the wet signal. Could be experimental or just a reverb like that. If you want to see more, subscribe, join the army, destroy AI, make sure FL Studio lasts forever. I'll see y'all soon. Later.